Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Well, in today's video, I want to talk about why I wouldn't get married again and what I would do instead. And I want to be clear and upfront about something. This video is not about hating marriage. It's not bitterness. And it's definitely not about attacking women or cultures. This is just about experience. Now, I've been married before, more than once, in different countries under very different legal systems and cultural systems. And after living, traveling, and building relationships across multiple countries, I've reached a conclusion that maybe surprises a few people, but probably doesn't surprise a lot of people. And that is that I would not get married again. Not because I don't believe in commitment, but because I understand what marriage is actually, legally, financially, and structurally. And once you see it clearly, it's hard to unsee it. And that's what I want to talk about in today's video. Stick around.
Here. Same four walls, same fading year. Got these plans stuck in my head. Southeast Asia calling me instead. Bangkok nights and Bali shores. Sick of dreaming, want something more.
All right, guys. So first up, marriage isn't what most men think it is. And what do I mean by that? Well, I think most men are sold a story. I think marriage is framed as love, loyalty, companionship, happily ever after. But, marriage was never designed around love. Historically, marriage was a contract. If anybody does a quick search on it, they'll see that. It was a legal and economic agreement designed for property, family alliances, children, financial stability, and social order. And love came later, if at all. And even today, the law doesn't protect love. It protects obligations, and usually it protects more than women. So once you've seen marriage operate under more than one legal system, that reality kind of becomes impossible to ignore. So what marriage really means for men, well, in my opinion, and this is kind of maybe an uncomfortable truth for some guys that most men probably aren't told. It's when you get married, you're not just committing emotionally, you're signing one of the largest financial contracts in your life. Marriage affects your income, your assets, your debt, your future earnings, and your ability to walk away cleanly. And unlike business contracts, marriage is open-ended. It's difficult to exit, often financially punitive. And I've seen how this plays out under Western divorce systems and foreign family systems. The details change, the risks do not change. And here's the thing, once you start living overseas, you realize very quickly that relationships aren't the only risk people underestimate. Your digital life is also exposed. Living overseas means banking, visas, contracts, legal documents, and scammers actively target expats. So Surfshark just launched something called Safe Search, which warns you about dangerous websites before you click them. That's huge when you're handling sensitive information overseas. Right now, Surfshark VPN is just $1.99 a month, and Surfshark One, the premium edition, is just $2.29 a month, with 3 months free. The links are below in the description in the pinned comment. Check it out today and get that 3 months for free and that great low price. Protect your data, your money, and your peace of mind. So why do men face even more risk overseas? I think marriage overseas actually adds layers of risk for men that they don't quite understand until they're already in it. Different country means different marriage laws, different divorce outcomes, different property rights, different custody standards, and cultural expectations, provider pressure, financial responsibility for extended family, social and family influence that you don't control. So what begins as love may turn into leverage. Once immigration status, family expectations, or permanent financial support enter the picture, the power dynamic changes. And I've seen Filipinos use that. Hey, I'm going to report you to immigration if you don't do this. It happened just a few weeks ago. An expat reached out to me, said his living girlfriend was threatening to make stuff up and turn him into immigration. And for me, I can tell you, being married in the Philippines with no divorce in the Philippines. Now, the U.S. does not recognize that. I was able to go back to the U.S., file for divorce, and get divorced. Now, in the Philippines, she's still legally married. And right now I'm doing the paperwork, so she will get the recognition of foreign divorce. That's really for her. That's not for me. For me, it really doesn't affect. I'm divorced. So I also want to talk about why age makes this even riskier. And this is a factor that no one really talks about, honestly, and that's age. When you're young and a marriage ends, recovery is still possible. You still have time, energy, career runway. But when you're retirement age or close to it, divorce hits very differently. At that stage, your earning power is limited, your assets are already built, your time horizon is shorter. Listen, when you're over 50, you've already lived more years than you have left. Your margin for error is much smaller as you get older. You don't just bounce back. A late divorce in life can mean losing assets that you're never going to replace, not at that age. Restarting emotionally when you really just don't have the energy for it. And watching your retirement plans collapse overnight. And I'm not being pessimistic. It's math and biology. So why wouldn't I do it again? Well, I have learned that I really value my freedom, flexibility, peace, mobility, and financial sovereignty. And marriage as it exists today demands permanence in a world where people change, cultures clash, power dynamics shift, especially overseas. Permanence becomes risk, not romance. So, what would I do if I had to start over again? And why I think that it works much better. If I were starting over today, I wouldn't rush into marriage at all. Again, not because I don't value partnership, but because there are better, safer ways to build a life together, especially overseas. And for me, this is how it would look like. Living together, but without merging everything together. And sharing a life together doesn't mean a permanent legal contract. You can live together, you can travel together, build routines, support each other emotionally, without permanently tying your finances, assets, and future to a system that you have no control over. So keeping finances separate, it's critical. I think one of the biggest mistakes that I see men make overseas is combining finances too early. I suppose in the West this is a mistake too, but even more detrimental overseas in my opinion. And protecting yourself, it doesn't mean you're being selfish. It means you're being realistic. And that means separate bank accounts, clear agreements on who pays for what and how much, no joint debt, and no shared assets that you can't easily unwind or walk away from. You can still be generous, you can still provide, but you don't erase boundaries that protect both people. Now, here are, I think, what are some practical ways you can protect yourself overseas. And again, this isn't about distrust, this is about risk management. And so for me, smart protection looks like this: taking time, no rushing into legal commitments, understanding local marriage and divorce laws before you fully commit, keeping your major assets in your home country if at all possible, avoiding joint property purchases early. And if you do purchase something, be okay with walking away from it because, for example, the Philippines, she's probably going to end up owning it. And watching long-term behavior, not promises. So for me, real trust is built over time. Legal entanglements should not come first. And I think this approach makes more sense at retirement age. At retirement age, you don't have decades to rebuild. Your assets are finite, and your margin for error is small. And living together with clear boundaries allows for companionship, stability, and peace without risking everything you spent a lifetime to build. And I don't think that's fear. I think that's just wisdom. So in closing, again, I'm not anti-love. I'm not anti-commitment. I'm anti-blind permanent contracts. And if somebody truly wants to be with you, they won't be afraid of clarity. They won't need leverage, and they won't rush permanence. And if that scares someone, then I think that tells you everything you need to know. So again, I don't need marriage to commit. I need clarity, consent, and freedom. So guys, let me know your opinions on the matter. Please comment down below. Love to hear your comments and have a discussion. And also don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And check out my website at GIOINTHEPHILIPPINES for a lot more information, all my travel gear I highly recommend, and a consultation if you need one if you're moving overseas. I would be glad to help. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.
Got these plans stuck in my head. Southeast Asia calling me instead. Bangkok nights and Bali shores. Sick of dreaming, want something more. Pack your bags, don't hesitate. Gio, let's go before it's too late. Time keeps slipping.